All right, Mr. Brayman here again. Time to start up a new lesson. We've got the next target, which is QM2, and it is I can use ratios and proportions to solve problems. And if you're wondering where I got that wonderful title from, look right below. Using ratios and proportions to solve problems. All right, here we go. The first thing, ratios and proportions. Obviously, those are the two main words we're looking at, and as luck would have it, they are both highlighted. First one's a ratio. It's a comparison of two numbers by division. Comparison of two numbers by division. You might better know that, or it sounds a lot like a fraction. And that's exactly what we're going to be looking at here. That is one. If you've got a single one of those, just a single set of two numbers compared by division, that is a ratio. But if you have an equation, again, equation indicates that you got an equal sign, that makes it a proportion, stating that two things are equal. So let's take a look at how these work. It says, a totem pole that is 90 feet tall casts a shadow that is 45 feet long. At the same time, a 6 foot tall man casts a shadow that is X feet long. So we don't know how long the shadow is. So there's a couple different ways we can do this, but we're going to set this up like this because that's how the boxes are here. It says write a ratio of the man's height to the totem's pole height. So we're going to put the man's height on top, which we know to be 6 feet. And we know the totem pole height is 90 feet. Now we've got two other things here. We've got write a ratio of the man's shadow to the totem pole shadow. The man's shadow, we don't know. We're calling that our X. And in here we've got the shadow of the totem pole, which is 45 feet. Now, this is a ratio. These two independently are ratios because it is two numbers compared by division. To set them equal to each other, that's what gives us our proportion. So man's height to the pole's height, so our 6 to 6 to, oh, I'm sorry, this was 90 feet tall, wasn't it? Hope you got that. 6 feet to 90 feet is, that's what we say for equals, X is to 45. Now, this is a one-step equation. This is 6 divided by 90 equals X divided by 45. Our inverse operation of division by 45 would be to multiply both sides by 45. And that's what this next box was asking here. We're going to multiply both sides by 45. If we do that, this cancels, or simplifies, I'm sorry, just to 1, or 1x. And on this side, this is like 45 over 1, which simplifies this to 1 over 2. And we've got 1 times 6, 1 times 2. We can also simplify that 6 divided by 2, 3 over 1, or just 3. X equals 3. And again, if you're listening to Mrs. Hunt in your head, she's going to say, what? 3 nose hairs? You're going to say, no, that's 3 feet. So solve the proportion to find out length of the man's shadow in feet. We've got 3 feet. Now, I know you're thinking about a whole bunch of different things that you've already seen in the past. We're going to get to those because I can hear some of you now saying, well, Mr. Brain, what about cross multiplication? And I'm going to say, yes, that is very acceptable. We're going to take a look at that in a couple minutes.